Hey guys, welcome to a brand new podcast from Rushdown Radio. I'm Michael.
And I'm Anthony.
Today we're going to be talking about TellTale's telling all these lies.
Oh boy, TellTale Games. We all thought it was all hunky-dory over there with their nice little adventure games and Walking Dead this and Minecraft that. We all thought they were just having a jolly old time making games. Nope. They've recently closed and so many things have come to light. So many things. Which, and thinking back on, isn't that surprising? But I mean, that's just hindsight. If you had told me in the middle of the process of making maybe the Batman games that they were making, that the employees were being treated like crap, or that they were going through all these crunch periods, I wouldn't have thought about it, really. But now, looking back and seeing how many games they've released in such a short time, yeah, you can't make those kind of games that quickly. And boy, did they make a lot of games.
I mean, they can make them quickly. They did it.
Yeah, but at what expense? The people, the employees.
But the people got the games, though.
No, not those people. The employees.
Who
got to get fired with no... They don't even fire. They were just like let go with no severance. Like nothing.
They know that they had the time there, though.
Nope, you're not doing this to me again. They walked into their job one day and was like, yeah, guys, we don't really have a job for you anymore. We're closing the doors. And so all these people, what are they going to do?
Yeah, this is super shitty.
Thankfully, a lot of other developers have said that they have places for these people at their studios. So hopefully they all get either new jobs, new careers, something.
Yeah.
I hope they all find a place somewhere else. I hope maybe even start your own studio.
That's true too.
But to see TellTale fall this hard from grace. Wow. So
let's start at the beginning. How did this all happen?
So it all started with The Walking Dead season 1,
which
we didn't know was going to be season 1. We just thought it was going to be The Walking Dead. They brought something new to the table for the franchise, and what would now be called the Walking Simulator.
That's a good name for it.
Yeah, but before that we called them adventure games. A little silly title, but hey. It had all these branching paths and character relations and great writing. The cell shader style looked really good, even though Borderlands did it and didn't get the recognition for it.
Yikes.
I'm sorry. I just thought that Borderlands did it just as well, if not better.
They're not going to be credited though with that style.
Oh no, of course not. Why credit them? No, I would no. But anywho. I mean, y'all can at me about that. I'll fight you.
Oh, go right ahead.
But yeah, I'm not going to take away from it being a good game, because while I wasn't one who enjoyed that style, I did watch it and I thought it was pretty good. I thought the story it told was nice. I thought it was emotional. I thought, and it wasn't the emotional in the way that Ubisoft will tell you that it's a gripping tale full of twists and turns and emotions. No, you felt that stuff, and it was pretty good. They had some good people working on it. However, those same good people kept working on the same game again and 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 again, just with a different franchise.
What's wrong with that? Like, what if you don't like Walking Dead, but you like Guardians of the Galaxy, but you want the same experience?
Yeah. That'd be fine if it was always the same good experience.
I mean, define good. Like,
not bad. Not trash.
What is trash, though, when you really think about it?
All right, so here's a question. Would you play The Walking Dead? No, because you wouldn't watch it. Would you watch the Guardians of the Galaxy movies or play the Guardians of the Galaxy games from TellTale?
Since the second movie was trash, I would play the games.
No. Okay, let's exclusively the first movie. Would you watch that movie or play those games?
That's tough.
No, it's not. Because one is good and one is just okay.
Will the soundtrack be the same?
Yes. exactly the same.
I would take the game.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm more into playing things versus actually like just watching things.
I would argue that you're watching things out of the way, but I digress.
That's another subject in itself.
Unfortunately, I don't share this sentiment. Oof. And it's naive because I thought that Guardians of the Galaxy from TellTale was incredibly horrible. I just thought it was kind of meh. It was really meh. While I didn't play a lot of the TellTale, I watched it because, it's pretty easy to do that. But I understand people having fatigue with these games because it's all kind of the same stuff. You watch some stuff, you play a little bit, it's a little interactive with some choreography and all that stuff, and it's all kind of just okay. But there's some of them were just not good. Like the Game of Thrones ones, that just wasn't good.
Every Game of Thrones related media that's not the actual TV show I've seen has been trash.
Yeah.
Like the RPG no one played.
I don't think that there's a way that video games can translate Games of Thrones in the way that people will like.
They could though.
Who will do it?
Rockstar.
That's an interesting thought for later. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
But I don't know, man. TellTale Games, I feel like they would have definitely benefited more from spacing their stuff out.
Well, see, that's the issue always with like stuff that gets super popular. Remember what happened with the Angry Birds craze?
Ugh.
And then it just kind of like imploded within itself. This is just history repeating itself at this point. Yeah. It comes out, it's like, oh my god, it's revolutionary, just changes the game. Then they pump out a whole bunch of like games, and then the quality starts to go down because they spent probably more time making the first one than they did the other ones. They probably just like pumped us out really quick.
Battle Royale.
Wow. Anywho, I think that after a while they were trying to like get all these licenses because they get so much money probably from what was it, from Marvel and from DC and all the other properties.
And whoever. Because I don't think any of them were their own original arts. I thought The Wolf Among Us was original, but I come to learn that is not their property.
Oh wow!
They kind of just attached themselves to properties, and we're like, hey, let's make a game, a TellTale game about your game.
I wonder who approached this. I'm probably gonna go venture and say that not Namco. I'm still thinking about Namco. I think Marvel and DC and all other companies probably came to them. It's like, this would be a good idea.
Yeah. Wolf Among Us was a comic book series by Bill Willingham.
Oh, okay. So basically just take things that are already existing properties and makes a TellTale game out of it.
Yeah, they didn't have their own original stuff. And that might also be another thing that contributed to it.
That might be it, too.
TellTale didn't have anything that was their own.
They don't have any original IPs, it sounds like.
No, they had nothing but other people's stuff. Minecraft, Game of Thrones.
Batman. Of
course, The Walking Dead, the game that put them on the map. Wolf Among Us. Borderlands. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And there were so many rumors of other games that they were going to do. And it seemed like they just wasn't able to do them, clearly.
Yeah.
And to make matters worse, they were all episodic. So not only were you working on properties, you were working on multiple games for that property that really only counted as one game.
Yeah. They released them at different portions of time, too.
Yeah. And of course, this, shines a light on why episodic games shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, because if it's tanks, then you're kind of left with not finishing the story.
But we've talked about season passes before. This is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much what you're doing when you get into the episodic games. You are buying into a season pass, and that's really... we've seen season passes not work out before.
Yeah.
But, this is good guy TellTale. TellTale could do no wrong. They just make games where you just make your decisions and make your alliances. Except their management was not great.
Yeah, there were reports that a lot of people, after the fact, a lot of the workers were like having to do really, really long hours, a lot of overtime, didn't get paid for the overtime. And then when they were let go, they didn't get anything out of it. And
then TellTale still has the nerve to try and make talks to make the rest of The Walking Dead come out, which would be good for people who got the season pass. but not talks to get these people paid.
Yeah. It's so scummy out there in this world. Like, it's just...
And if you don't know, there's also a lawsuit out against them for violating labor laws.
Yep, because they were supposed to be notified ahead of time they were going to be laid off. Well, that many people are going to be laid off at the same time.
Of course, TellTale could just be like, we kind of know. So, it's all sudden for everybody.
Like, we're not liable for this, which they might be, but that's litigations that we're going to probably be playing out for the next couple of months.
Yeah, we're not lawyers.
Yeah, we're not. But that whole thing's going to probably take like a long time for them to like get to a settlement.
Yep, so this is going to be that time period where all the stuff about TellTale is going to come out. We're going to realize that they were actually a pretty terrible company.
Yep.
And we're going to look at their games differently now.
Yeah.
Although I do wonder how that's going to be managed. Is all those games just going to go into the ether? Is somebody going to swipe those games up and, get
EA
the publisher? Oh. Because I'm sure those games are still going to be sold.
Of course.
So, I mean, who's going to get that money?
That's a good question.
Because if TellTale's going to be gone, I mean, honestly, I think that money should go to the people who made them.
No, that's too much like right.
Of course it is. And we all know that the video game industry is anything but.
Yeah. So we lead to oversaturation of the market, a dwindling quality issue, and an inevitable closing of the company. And now we're at the lawsuit portion of this show.
Which is amazing because it wasn't like they were spending their money on like new ideas, new engines, creative staff.
Where was the money going, probably?
Oh, that's the crazy thing. Because the money had to have gone somewhere.
Yeah, like...
What? Were they throwing like Ferrari parties or something out there?
Please explain a Ferrari party.
So a Ferrari party is a party where you have to have a Ferrari or up to even get into the door.
Okay, so that's a high interest.
It's so. I mean, this is one of the high class. Like, this is the kind of party that Gatsby would throw today.
Okay, a Ferrari party. That's so good. They had to be doing something with this money. It's like it wasn't going anywhere besides someone's pocket.
Like I said, their engine was the same for so long. If you look at the Batman games, those games are buggy as hell.
I mean, I'm not like a financial analyst or anything, but I'm pretty sure that they were contracted by these companies to make these games. So I'm sure he got some money out up front.
They had to have some kind of deal.
Yeah, so...
And they worked on the Marvel property.
They worked on Marvel and DC.
You know they got money for that stuff.
Because Warner Bros. Like, here's money. Take it.
Yeah.
And then Disney's like, here, make these things for us. Make us more money.
And
and Walking Dead has been a big franchise for the longest now, so...
And I understand that these opportunities don't come lightly or often to many other developers. I get it. It's hard to say it's... All right, Disney, we kind of can't do that because we're working on like 7 games at once right now. Maybe if you come back in a year,
You kind of don't say no to Disney.
Yeah.
They come with a big check and say, hey, make this game.
Yeah, it's hard to justify saying no, but I think that they could have said no to some things.
Yeah. I wonder how big their company grew, too, because I feel like at a certain point, you should probably hire more staff or something.
Yeah, that's what the money making's for.
Yeah,
hire some more staff, make a better engine,
or just
get some. Oh, and their PR, I guess.
Oh God, I'm not gonna shit on PR companies, but I feel like that portion of money is so mismanaged in a lot of companies. Like, some people just go out of the way, spending way too much money on marketing when they don't need to.
I mean, they didn't do that much marketing.
Well, they didn't have to.
The most you saw from marketing is maybe like a YouTube ad that you'd skip.
Or a JPEG. And
I mean, they got the gifts.
They do. I mean, you go to GameStop, they always had like big displays for their stuff. And I'm sure you had a lot of ad space in like magazines, which I don't think people even buy magazines anymore.
Buy Minecraft story mode.
Yuck. So this lawsuit is...
I don't know if this lawsuit's going to really change anything. I hope that what it does is get money into the hands of the people who deserve it.
That would be good.
Isn't
this a class action lawsuit?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay.
I hope this does something, because I think that the fact that this lawsuit is even happening is a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, developers, maybe not treat your people like shit, and things like this wouldn't happen.
Yeah. A lot of companies actually do this stuff too. It's just no one even says anything about it. I think there needs to be a labor union for video game developers, probably, because they get in these really shitty contracts, and then at the end of it all, they end up with nothing.
Yeah. A lot of companies do all that crunch time stuff. They lay people off en masse and all this extra stuff. Who knows what else the game industry is doing that we don't know about. But the fact that some companies can be held accountable is good. Now, it could be argued that TellTale is more in the indie space. I don't know how indie they are these days, or consider. Maybe when they started off, but now, I don't know. I'd give them mid-tier. I'd give them not quite indie, but not quite AAA.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle.
But the fact that they could be made an example of, I think, is important.
Yeah. It's just really unfortunate how this is all played out for the people who work there. And it's just a really big, like, you know, what's the word I want to say? Not barometer, but like, just pretty much like a telltale sign that, hey, companies, like, you might want to be a little more smart about how you do your management when it comes to your employees in the future.
Yeah, because they're still people.
They're
not just machines that crank out video games.
And they still cry about they ain't got enough money, though. Like, companies like EA and stuff are doing this exact same thing probably right now as we speak, yet they're always crying about, we don't have enough money.
We don't have enough money.
Like, we're broke. We don't have any money.
We had to turn our Ferrari party into a BMW party.
Oh, the horror.
my platinum spoons.
they're silver now.
They're silver.
Ugh.
Pure silver, mind you, but silver nonetheless.
Yuck.
My filet mignon wasn't imported. It was killed and made with American cow. Bah!
You're doing the absolute maximum, and I love it.
Look.
Because this is exactly how I feel people talk like EA or something.
Our pockets, we've had to shorten our pockets from like ankle length to knee length to hold all the money that we don't have.
Oh God. You know what reminds me of the Kingdom of Amalur story from years ago? When they went bankrupt and they had to pay the what was it, the state of, what was that, Massachusetts back the money, or was it Maine?
So.
Like that just like, why are you guys not seeing this pattern? Like
it's bound to happen because, man, they don't learn. They don't. And it's just it's so much greed involved in like the game industry too. And there's no regulations for this stuff, which is why we're talking about that in another podcast about the regulations in the game industry. We need that across the board. We need that more so for like the labor unions and stuff for these people, because they deserve to be treated like fairly. Like, I don't care if you're making a game, you still are an employee and you still have rights as an employee. And I feel like these companies are taking advantage of the very hands-off approach the government has been doing with the games. Oh, we've been getting the state wrong, my dude.
What?
It's Rhode Island.
Rhode Island?
Yes.
Forgot.
I had to look that up real quick.
I forgot I keep forgetting. That story was so long ago.
Yeah.
That was like early days of our show. Like that was 2011.
And I mean, it was something that the game industry could still learn from.
Oh yeah. Cause they're still talking about it now.
Yeah.
They're just now buying the IPs. Like, I think they just not paid the money back too recently. If I'm not mistaken. It took them a long time.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
So what else can we learn from this situation with TellTale?
Let's see. Treat your workers right. Maybe lay off the crunch time. Don't take on more than your team can handle. We can tell when you're using the same old engines.
But engines are hard.
Maybe hold back on the Ferrari party.
The Ferrari parties are so good.
Man, there's a lot of lessons that the game industry ain't gonna learn here.
They not. They're gonna continue to be until some really hard legislation comes in and some regulations come in from the government. They're gonna continue to do it because they don't have anybody telling them no.
Oh yeah, episodic games are bad.
Yes, please stop that.
Maybe release the whole game when it's ready. Because having games released in months apart is kind of not good.
Do you think that would have helped that Telltale if they just came up with the entire thing?
Releasing whole games?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
I love the way you said that.
Because that's pretty much what you do with you chopping up whole games. And you're deciding, yep, we're just going to chop them up. Man, let's see. They've been open for 13 years. They worked on things like Sam and Max, Wallace and Gromit. These are some I didn't even know about. Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, Homestar Runner. Still nothing they ever made. But if you look at their release windows for a lot of their games, starting around the time of like, dudes, like this is insane. Let's see. We got TellTale Texas Hold'em, February 11th, 2005. Bone out from Boneville, September 15th, 2005. CSI from 3 Dimensions of Murder, March 21st, 2006. Bone the Great Cow Race, April 12th, 2006. That's like a month. It's like less than a month.
They don't have to do that much work though.
Let's see. They are just cranking out the games, man. Tales of Monkey Island, July 7th, 2009 to December 8th of 2009. CSI Deadly Intent, October 20th, 2000. That's in between it. Whew, these release windows, man.
They got games to come out with. Like, what were you expecting? They got money to make.
I see, and they were making them. And man, they worked on Law and Order too. Man, look at that. They worked on a lot of stuff, and they cranked out a lot of games in 13 years.
And they had a lot of like big companies come to them and like let them license stuff to make games for.
Oh man, Wolf Among Us Season 2 canceled, Game of Thrones Season 2 canceled, Stranger Things canceled.
Oh, they were come out. Wait, the Stranger Things Telltale game? I forgot about that. Yes. That would have been huge.
Not huge enough to save them.
Not enough to save them, but it would have been like a good property to have. Like Stranger Things is really popular. People would have got that just because of the name alone.
Like at a certain point, you start to look at the release windows, and it goes from one date to another as opposed to just one date. Like The Wolf Among Us, October 11th, 2013 to July 8th, 2014. The Walking Dead Season 2, December 17th, 2013 to August 26th, 2014.
So I'm guessing they were working on the game as they were making them.
Yes, they were working on multiple properties at the same time at all times.
That's crazy.
Like, the only time you see a break is between Walking Dead Season 2 and Tales from the Borderlands. But even then, that's from August to November that they weren't doing much of anything. But we got, well, I mean, not saying they weren't making games, but there was a break in releases. Because then you get Tales from the Borderlands, November 25th, 2014 to October 20th, 2015. That's another thing about episodic games.
What?
That's almost a year for one IP.
That is a long time.
Like, that took almost the Game of Thrones one took almost a year.
Just to get through one season?
Just to get through one season.
Wow. I think the episodic thing didn't work out very much so because of the fact they had too many games they were doing at the same time. I think that would have worked if they were doing like one game for a year.
Now my thing is, right, that's a red flag. Because Tales of the Borderlands was one of the highly regarded ones, and that took almost a year to complete and get out.
Yikes.
While you see future releases start getting really tight. Like Minecraft Story Mode, that took a few months. Walking Dead Michonne, that took a few months. The Batman games, that took, wow. That's from August to December. Walking Dead New Frontier, December to May. Guardians of the Galaxy, April to November. Minecraft Story Mode Season 2, July to December. You get the idea.
Yeah, this is crazy town. Like, this is literally crazy town. I don't know how they even survived as long as they did with that point once they started getting popular.
Yeah.
Like, once The Wolf Among Us became... Was that the first, like, big hit? Was it the Walking Dead? Was that the big
Walking Dead was the big hit.
So once Walking Dead became a big hit, that's when the thing just went to the shitter. Like, that's when just Crazy Town came. People were probably doing 80 hours a week, not staying at families, not getting paid. They weren't even getting paid overtime. Like, they were working these crazy hours and not even getting paid for it. And then they got fired pretty much. And they're not going to even get paid for that either. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet, like, I think last week where somebody was saying, like, basically they were working for a company and they didn't get paid overtime, and then they just got, I think that person actually worked for TellTale. I'm not sure or not. But he pretty much said, like, think about your mental health at the end of the day. Don't work these crazy out, because at the end of the day, you're just another employee.
Yep. And TellTale sure made sure to make you feel that.
Oh yeah, they really did. Oh god, I know there's like stories of people saying, like, people who work on games, like, be sleeping at the office and stuff and have to wake up the next day and, like, work on stuff, and they don't get to go home. I'm like, this is just crazy town. And it's disgusting, honestly. And there's nothing the fact that there's nothing people can really do about this is another thing that kind of makes me a little upset about this. Because there's no, like, accountability from the companies. They just do what they want, and that's it.
And now people are going to look at TellTale, and their games are going to... I don't want to say their games are going to be forgotten, but they're definitely going to be tarnished.
Oh, definitely. I would definitely agree. But what can you do right now? Like, I know what they're doing. They're doing that lawsuit, so shout out to them. Hopefully they got a good attorney to do this class, because the class action lawsuits are really huge cases. Like, that takes a lot of dexterity and a lot of work to get those, like, accomplished. So whoever's taking over this case, I really hope that you have all your T's and I's dotted, because this is a lot going on. There's so much at stake in that lawsuit too.
Yeah. And I hope they all get the money that they deserve from it, because, oh boy.
Yeah, they deserve better. Jeez, that release schedule was crazy. It's crazy. I never even knew this was going on, because I wasn't really paying attention to the TellTale, like, series and the franchise and all the other stuff that's going on with it. So I don't think anybody really thought anything wrong with this.
No, they just played the games.
Like, I didn't see any outlets talk about the crazy schedules or, like, how they have all these games at the same time. No one said anything.
I feel like this was a case where people didn't talk about it because maybe they were under, like, an NDA, or maybe they felt like their jobs may have been at risk.
Yeah.
Because if every developer came out and talked about this kind of stuff, how many places would get in trouble for it?
A lot.
I'm sure a lot of AAA companies would just be like, ugh. They will look even worse than they do now.
Yeah.
If those publishers were shown to, like, force these hours on the people.
This is really bad. I hope that everybody gets what they need, as far as, like, gets at least a new job. Like, if they don't even get anything out of this lawsuit financially, because there's a good chance they won't get anything, because the fact TellTale has no money. So there's a good chance they won't get anything. But at least something will be done, and it'll be some accountability, and then hopefully get a new job somewhere else. Hopefully.
Well, like I said, a lot of developers have opened their doors to TellTale people, so hopefully they get I hope they were serious.
Hopefully they get some placement somewhere. Yeah, because that's just, oh god.
And I do hope that the entity of TellTale, the managers of TellTale, get what they deserve.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap up this episode?
As much as I hope that the game industry learns something from this, I don't think they will. I mean, hell, they might turn their Ferrari parties into Lamborghini parties at this point.
Purple Lamborghinis.
Like, ha, less competition.
Wow.
Sink or swim, boys. Hey, look at them. Look at them scary. Y'all done. No more of that stuff. We ain't got to compete with your release dates. You're done. You're over with.
It's a wrap?
It's a wrap. We ain't got to pay y'all for this stuff no more. You're over. Bye.
All right, you're obviously done.
I'm pretty
turn
done.
it off the mic. All right, guys. What do you guys think about this Telltale situation? Do you think this is crappy where you're a fan of Telltale? Are you looking for the next season of Walking Dead and Game of Thrones? Hopefully not Game of Thrones.
Are you also throwing Ferrari parties?
Let us know. Please like this video. Well, not this video. This is a podcast. Please like our podcast. Please leave a comment. Rate our podcast on Apple and on Spotify and Google Play. It'll be really appreciated so we can get more people can see it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next podcast.